welcome back. Let's jump straight into the next part of the acronym, which is going to be the S, which is to stimulate the unconscious mind. Now, by stimulating the unconscious mind, what you're hopefully doing at this point is doing some sort of therapeutic work. It's only until you stimulate or interact with the unconscious mind that you can actually start to do therapy that would have an outcome. So let's recap just quickly. We have the A, which is attention, the B, which is your induction that bypasses the conscious mind. The S stands for once you get in direct contact with the unconscious mind, you need to stimulate it. Think of it like a child who likes to play. The more you play with the child, the more excited this child gets. The same thing occurs with the S by stimulating the unconscious mind. Now, there's an interesting clue that lets you know that you're stimulating the unconscious mind correctly, and these are known as unconscious moment. Now, if you've followed enough of our literature, you've been a part of our other programs, you've maybe read our books, you'll hear that I heavily talk about unconscious moments. An unconscious moment is a pure sign of the unconscious mind in action. Now, to go back to the absurd formula, by stimulating the unconscious mind, by doing some sort of therapeutic work, you should receive some unconscious moments. It's like the unconscious mind says, yes, I'm listening to you. Here's a clue that I'm listening to you. And there's very many ways you can see the unconscious mind expressing itself. So in brackets next to stimulate the unconscious mind or interact with the unconscious mind, play with the unconscious mind, tell the unconscious mind a story, just something where you're interacting with it and keeping it present, I want you to put in brackets, this is where I do my therapy. Now your therapeutic outcome or your therapeutic tools could be telling stories. You might be using Ericksonian strategy. You might be doing a regression. You might be doing some sort of pain control. You might be doing some sort of mechanism from spotting unconscious moments. You could be doing anything at this point. The reason your client has come to see you is because they need some sort of therapeutic intervention. They want to overcome something or achieve something or stop doing something. This is where you make your bones as a hypnotist. This is where you're getting paid and why your clients pay you. They want some sort of therapeutic intervention. And the only, and I will use that word correctly, the only way your clients will have a therapeutic outcome is if you have stimulated the unconscious mind. You have bypassed the conscious mind and you've got direct access to the unconscious mind. This is where you do your therapy. So to backtrack just a little, if you find your clients aren't achieving a therapeutic outcome, it could mean that the right part of the mind, which is the unconscious mind, was not present. You did the therapy at the wrong point, and that's just fine. It's all part and parcel of learning how to be a hypnotist. So you need the attention. You must bypass the conscious mind. And here's a little extra hint with bypassing the conscious mind. Do you realize that you can actually tell when you've bypassed the conscious mind before you need to start stimulating the unconscious? Well, you should see more unconscious moments. Unconscious moments will tell you if you bypass the conscious mind. It'll also tell you, or these unconscious moments will tell you when the unconscious mind is present. Only until you have the unconscious mind present can you move to the next step, which is therapy. And I'll repeat that. Only when you have bypassed the conscious mind, you've got full access and full attention of the unconscious mind, should you even consider doing anything therapeutic, whether it's for smoking, weight loss, anxiety, phobias, addictions, whatever routine you run at that point, only imply some sort of therapy when the right mind is listening. If only the conscious mind is listening because you haven't bypassed it enough, you're hitting a dead end at that point. Your therapy is going to go on deaf ears, if you will. So there we have it. That's the S. So let's quickly recap again. A is for attention. B is to bypass the conscious mind. When you bypass the conscious mind, you receive something, which is an unconscious moment, which is trance. Once you're beginning to see or feel your clients going into trance, that is the best time to do your therapy. And you do this by stimulating the unconscious mind. Talk to it directly. Tell it your therapeutic stories. Give it your therapeutic routine or the methods that you employ as a hypnotist. This is where you need to do therapy. And this is why your clients come to see you. It's the perfect point and the perfect structure to follow in the absurd formula. So there we have it. That's the S, to stimulate the unconscious mind with some sort of therapy. Also remember this, as we stated before, every client is different. That's why most clients will need a different induction, regardless of the person you just saw before. It's the same thing with therapy. You're going to be running a large risk. That's too much of a risk for any hypnotist getting paid for what they do to imply the same therapy will work with every single part of your client, every one of your clients. Every client is different. They motivate different. Their interested and disinterested differently. They have their own reasons and rules about life and their realities and their mindset. This is why, as a hypnotist, you need to start thinking in terms of not so much what's the best technique or strategy, it's where am I as a part of this formula? Where am I with my client so I know what to do next? So when you're ready, jump over to the next video where we look at the U, which stands for utilize any unconscious moment. This is where the real fun kicks in. See you in the next video. Bye for now.